Hi everyone, from me and Millie. You might have just seen her there, coming up to the cup for this tea leaf reading that I'm doing for you all. As you know, Millie often joins in for these readings. She seems to be very drawn to tea. I have recently discovered that cats can have green tea, I believe. And I'm actually using green tea, by the way, for this reading. In case you're wondering, see the sort of slightly bigger leaves that we're going to use. Green tea is very good for us as well. Do any of you drink green tea? Or what type of tea do you drink? I drink all sorts, actually. Green, black, peppermint, chamomile. Yeah, Millie's very curious, as you can see, with the green tea. So for this one, we're going to look at energetic shifts, predictions for this month, and we'll see if we get anything beyond that in the future that comes through. So this is sort of more collective for this reading. Before I begin, just to make a little announcement to let you know that I'm opening up private readings for a short time. I don't do them all year round because of other commitments and stuff, and because of energy. You know, it takes a lot of energy to do everything that I do. I haven't done them since last year. I had a long break, actually. And I do private tea leaf readings. As some of you will know, you've had some with me. Now, if it says sold out, please check back at a later date, because I like to get them back to you in a timely manner. So there's a limit, you know, to how many I can do. It's only me. But the link is below in the description box. I'll put a link in the pinned comment as well to the tea leaf reading if any of you are interested. As I said, it won't be all year round. It will be probably for like a few months or so. So if you'd like a reading, then make sure you don't miss out. So have any of you ever wondered what energetic shifts are brewing for us all? Pardon the pun, after I've just brewed this tea. Now, we can get answers, as you know, a lot of you will know from my readings, from the tea leaves. So let's see what upcoming moments there may be for the collective. Are some of you feeling a change in the air? I know that I am, personally. We've already had shifts happening. I do feel it's shifted again, to be honest, in a positive way. But anyway, we'll see what else we get with the cup. Now, I just wanted to mention that when I was brewing the tea, I let it brew, obviously, and then so there's water in the cup. The tea sunk to the bottom, and there was one tea leaf swirling around in the water, and it looked like an angel, to be honest. And it had like it was like a stem from the tea, but it looked like a staff, even a scythe. Then I swirled the water again, and it appeared again. All of the tea sunk. I wish I'd got it on camera, everyone, but I don't. Maybe I'll try that in the future, you know, filming the brewing process. Because I don't usually do it in that way, to be honest. I usually just empty it and then look. But I did it slightly differently. And I think from using the larger tea leaves, I wanted to do that. But anyway, the second time, there was again that one single tea leaf at the top, and it looked headless. So there was still this stick in its hands or in front of it. So we could see that as the Seven of Wands in Tarot, which is about standing your ground. But I was seeing it as an angel, because it was swirling, sort of like hovering around the collective, let's say, making changes. Was it the angel of death? That's what was coming to me with the scythe. So some energies being eliminated is what I'm feeling. Was the sign from that tea leaf. Take what resonates, obviously. And what I found really amazing as well, you may see it in the cup, is we've got a big J at the bottom. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, when I emptied the water. So it could be your initial, but I'm really getting J for Jesus coming through them with that angel. It's like biblical times, end times, is, you know, the period I feel we're in. So Jesus returning, have faith is the message, because this shift is brewing, is happening. As I said, it could be your initial. I'd often get J come through in tea leaf readings, as a lot of you will know. I know quite a lot of you who are members, I've mentioned before, have the initial J. And I'm feeling a few viewers as well who haven't commented, but I'm sort of picking up on your energy. There's someone with the initial J who I feel is quite interested in a tea leaf reading. So I may see you for that. But yeah, that's what I'm getting there. There's also, now take what resonates, obviously, and you might see things in the cup. Let us know in the comments, by the way, anything that you see. I'm just seeing that there as a figure down the bottom. A figure of authority, potentially. And it's interesting, it's opposite the J. So I'm getting Antichrist there. Someone who, wow, yeah, very heavy energy now coming through there. As I say that I'm feeling in my energy field. Someone who may come into power, could already be in power, they're already out there, I feel. And they, yeah, I guess what I'm hearing is they create this peace, but it's a false sense of peace. So be mindful of who you listen to, who you trust. Strong sense of trusting your intuition that's been coming out in my readings recently. A lot of you will know that's why I do the guidance stuff as well, for your, you know, for your own empowerment, using your discernment. That also looks like a T at the side there. I've just remembered I was also seeing a lot of birds when the tea was swirling in the water. So changes, definitely getting changes over the next few months. Communication with the bird, truth continuing to come to light, which it is already. I feel there's going to be more and more that emerges, and that's why people will start to trust their intuition more, because they realise the lies that have been told for a long time, the things that have been going on behind the scenes that have not been good, you know, are being exposed, and the people in power. I'm not going to hone in on countries, but I'm definitely getting people in power being exposed for things they've been doing behind the scenes, shifts in governments. I'm just channeling this, by the way. Now, I know obviously these are tea leaves, but I'm seeing there quite a big leaf. Looks like, actually looks like the leaf from a grapevine. Now, a leaf is in general a sign of rebirth, growth, the soul's journey. Hidden things as well, though. As I just said about the truth coming to light. Do you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing a vision of this leaf that's been there a long time, and suddenly this gust of wind comes along, blows it away, and what's below it is revealed. It's really interesting the way that I get my visions. So yeah, I'm definitely getting a sign of more things coming to light. People also with the J, like sort of turning to faith more, removing themselves from media, distractions, deciding to go on that life's journey and heal. Is what I feel. Also notice this is like a rose at the side, a flower. So a flower is a sign of healing, beauty. Being of pure mind and heart. Manifestation could be love for some of you. Some of you might be manifesting right now, and then you may see things start to change for you as this shift happens. It's like things are really being changed up in terms of the order of things. First will be last, last will be first, as it says in the Bible. Yeah, so really getting signs, truth from the Bible. People might start realising that, you know, if you read, there's a lot of wisdom and advice, but there's also like things that are happening that were predicted in the Bible. So just be mindful of that. I'm seeing a bird. This is like a bird of prey that I'm seeing here. So with that, I always get the message of seeing from a higher perspective, seeing all angles. So for example, if you read something online in a newspaper, if anyone out there still reads them, I certainly don't. I know people do though, because I see them out on the street walking along and they've just bought a newspaper. But you know, if you read something, don't just take it as that's the gospel truth, you know. See it from other perspectives, or is there another perspective out there? For example, what do you feel in your gut when you read it? Do you trust it? There is a shift though, I've got to say, in the media. I've been feeling, I don't really watch a lot or, you know, read a lot, but I'm feeling there's more truth getting out there. Collectively. So we're definitely getting with the bird freedom, peace, hope, rebirth, enlightenment, letting go, coming through. Because I'm seeing a mountain there. This bird is flying away from the mountain. Mountains can show struggles, challenges. So some of you may have had some struggles. You might have them at the moment. Financial struggles has been coming out recently in my channeling. People who felt tied to the system, to, material stuff. Wow, and I'm just feeling this liberation now in my energy, as some people, I feel, are going to free themselves from things that no longer serve them. I think that came out in my last reading. This could be addictions, blocks, challenges, something that makes you feel tied down. You want to free yourself. Your soul is telling you, actually, that it wants to be free. If you're feeling that, if you're feeling restricted, I feel some of you have been feeling that way. I'm also seeing quite big clouds here. Now, clouds can be a sign of confusion for some as they navigate these shifts, because it's going to start to feel strange when people start realising the truths that are coming out, the shifts that they feel within energetically. So when we talk about energy shifts, we're all connected, and you might find sometimes you really feel the dense energy of the collective affecting you. You might feel very lethargic, heavy, confusion, brain fog, and that's because of this passing clouds, the way I'm seeing it, passing over the collective, creating shifts within people, but it's helping them to fly free and be autonomous. Now, this could also be the weather as well, by the way, if we look at it environmentally. Weather shifts. We've obviously had quite a lot of different things. We've had storms, heavy snow, floods. Now, a lot of you will know I did actually predict a snowstorm in my predictions, and floods for the UK, which we have had. Now, what I'm getting with that, though, is that's part of the energy shift. It's like it's clearing and cleansing a lot of things. It's needed. But that could intensify for a little bit longer, I feel, until we reach the spring. That's what I'm getting. I'm seeing a dinosaur, and I remember, I think it was my last tea leaf reading, I saw the same. And I said something about things becoming extinct. So that links to the system. The system's going to start changing, a big shift. Because there's also here this big cloud, like an explosion. Not sure if you can see that. And that really links. I was drawn to that because I've seen that in a vision. I shared it in a predictions reading in the past, some of you might remember, where I said about events occurring and not this sort of big bang. Now that could be metaphorical, by the way, but it could also be a volcano, which I've I have said about in my predictions, earthquakes in certain areas. And this again is part of this shift, the energy shift. Do you know what I'm suddenly getting? If there are any earthquakes around the world, they could reveal things. This is part of the big reveal. As I said about that leaf, yeah. Thank you, Spirit. I get visions and I hear stuff in these readings, by the way. That's why sometimes it might seem slow. It's because I'm sort of interpreting live, by the way. But yeah, with that leaf that I saw moving, that's what I mean. You know, it could be that there's an earthquake, certain things move, buildings collapse, or there's like a crack in the ground and things are unearthed that reveal the truth about what's been going on underground in particular. I'm just going to add, yeah, that's so interesting, everyone. There's also a little heart just there, not sure if you'll see that. So a sign of there being love, hope in the future after all of this happens, peace, unity. That's really beautiful. I'm seeing a few more initials, P, R, V. I'm seeing T a lot. Now these could be some of your initials or prominent people we see in the news, things come out about them. Obviously we've had J come out there as well. Millie's just come back. She went off. She's come back again. To be curious, as cats are. You might have noticed how her tail just went over the cup there. I took that as a sign from Spirit that that's the end of the reading. That's all I'm getting. So I hope you've got something from that. Now, as per usual, I'm going to pull a charm. I do this in private readings as well, by the way, finish with a charm. Just to show you, I've recently bought some more and it's now full to the brim. So I think that's it, although if I get another, well, I do have another trinket actually, so if I get any more, I'll have to change it. Don't know if they do these bigger, I'll have to have a look, because I think it's quite handy. So one has just dropped out there. So that is, I can't even close it, yeah. It's getting a bit full, isn't it? I think I may have to swap that, or maybe I can pull some out, I suppose. Okay, wow, we got quite a few charms. Now, you know, it's so interesting that we've got a dragonfly, and I should have called it out before. That kind of looks like a dragonfly there. Millie's very curious as well, I think she agrees. I was going to say it and I didn't, it slipped my mind. It happens when channeling. So dragonflies are a sign of change and transformation, which has obviously come through. Being adaptable in terms of these changes as well, self-realisation, expressing yourself is really coming out. So as I said about the truth coming to light, but this is also people being honest with themselves, doing the shadow work, maybe being honest with others, and expressing themselves. Obviously we had the heart, could be someone expressing themselves to you. You might express yourself through music, so we've got the treble clef. So I feel some of you read music, play an instrument. That could be your sign to do that in terms of expressing yourself, doing it in a creative way. For some of you do that and you're being guided to keep doing that, writing music, writing your own songs. A change in the music industry. This comes out a lot. I didn't see musical notes in the cup this time. I usually do, as a lot of you will know, but they often do, and I often say changes in the music industry, which have been happening. It's been corrupt for a long time in terms of the frequency of the music and how that creates fear in people. I've mentioned this before, so be mindful of music you listen to. I was thinking actually of doing a video on this, so I may go into more detail about that. I've really strongly been picking up on some famous singers out there in the collective who've been changing. You might see changes in some of them online, some who've been hiding away, going through a personal transformation. So they may seem very different. Some who, they've been through like an ego death, I'm just hearing. And they may come out, share their story through their music. That's suddenly coming out now, because some of them have started to realise what it's all been about, who's really been behind it, and selling your soul. Wow, I wanted to... Sorry everyone. This happens when channeling, sometimes words get muddled up. I wanted to say selling yourself and then your soul, and it came out as self. Okay, sorry. Well, but that could be a new word, couldn't it? Self. It's quite a good one. No, but to be serious, I feel that people in the collective are going to start to pick up on it as well. I feel some famous musicians, singers, are going to speak out more in terms of this truth coming to light, in terms of the way they've been treated, what they've been guided to do, told to do. Even for some of them, it's gone against what they initially wanted to do, because for a lot of people who are singers, musicians, they do it to express themselves. But some have been guided down the wrong path. Wow, I'm getting a lot coming through here around the music industry, actually. I do feel there's quite a few musicians who watch my readings, maybe other readings, maybe that's helped them. Some could be quite well known. I know some of you, I picked up on it quite a lot, you play instruments. Piano, guitar come through a lot. We've also got a lizard. Isn't that interesting? That's also a sign of transformation, so those two link. Being adaptable as well. Facing your fears. So shadow work, in terms of reaching this point of awakening, we have to go through the shadows first, don't we? The challenges that we had with the mountain. Releasing old attachments, freeing yourself. It's coming out, and new beginnings as well. A little bit more I could say about the lizards, but I won't say too much. Some of you may know what I'm on about. Stuff being exposed about reptiles, energies who look human and maybe they're not. It's a bit about the underground stuff. So that's really interesting. that's come through. We've got a rabbit as well. Quite a few spirit animals have come through. You might see these animals after the reading. Sign of swift change, fertility, releasing. I'm really getting releasing anxiety, worries, baggage, freeing yourself, as we had before with the bird. A new beginning with those, well, actually these three: transformation, new beginning. Strongly coming out. Now, a starfish is also a sign of transformation because they can regenerate. So healing, transformation, sign of divine love, and inspiration, intuition. You're being guided to follow your heart, follow your desires with this change. Some of you might be feeling you want to do something different. You want to follow what your heart tells you to do and not what other people tell you to do. What else do we have here? Oh wow, we've got the US flag. Okay, interesting. So could be the US in particular where we see this begin, this change, or big changes in the US. I know a lot's been going on there. I'm hearing healing the nation. I'm suddenly hearing corruption coming to light. Truth coming to light, yeah. So the US in particular is coming out in terms of that. We got a clothes hanger, which is about support and structure. Personal growth, again. It's interesting how it's next to the US flag, so a change in the structure, potentially, of the country. Power structures definitely coming out again, as I said before, from the cup. I'm really getting support coming through here. People receiving the support they need. A lot of people have felt alone. I'm getting emotions now. Some of you watching may have felt that. And we've got a mermaid. I'm getting fantasy with that. It's interesting it's next to the starfish. So some of you may love the sea. Going to the beach, that could be something you want to do. Changes in the sea as well, sea life. Some of you might love fairy tales. Just keep getting the Little Mermaid with that. Singing, yeah, okay, that links to singing. Who knows, maybe we'll even have a story in the news about mermaids being real. With the truth coming to light. I'll leave that there. Use your discernment, everyone. Really hope you've enjoyed this reading. Anyway, I'm going to finish it there. Thank you so much for watching. Please do let us know in the comments anything you saw, anything you felt, if it resonated. As I said, if you'd like a personal tea leaf reading, they're open at the moment. They won't be forever, so check the link out and book a reading if you're interested. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to those who've sent donations. It really means a lot and helps me keep the channel going. Sending peace of light to you all.